Hello, cowgirl in the sand. Is this place at your command? Can I stay here for a while? Can I see your sweet, sweet smile? Old enough now to change your name when so many love you. Is it the same? It's the woman in you that makes you wanna play this game.
Good morning, Region. This is Tom Wichlinski, the Vice Chairman of the Little Calumet River Basin, and this is our monthly Little Calumet River Basin podcast / radio show. I'm here with our wonderful Executive Director, Mr. Dan Repay.
Good morning.
And a little birdie told me that you played golf against my son.
I did.
On Sunday, and I'm sure he's been suffering through an injury and trying to get better, but he hasn't played a lot of golf this year as much as he'd like to. But
that's everybody.
He said, I said, well, how'd you do? He goes, well, I didn't expect them to use any of my shots, but they used a lot of my shots today, so that's not a good thing.
Yeah, he's an Evans Scholar, which is a program that helps. It's a great program. I mean, it's a scholarship for kids that have caddied, and they house them and feed them. And
if you want to donate to a very important cause, the Evans Scholarship Program is outstanding, and it provides scholarships for individuals who normally couldn't afford to go to college.
Hundreds every year across the United States.
I think last year, because my wife and me are donators to the Evans Scholarship Program, and I think they said last year 1,200 individuals from male and female caddies from all over the country get to participate in the program, and it's a 4-year bumper-to-bumper scholarship. Yeah. It's fantastic.
So I'm a director on the WGA, and so what the thing
Western
he was
Golf Association.
What Tom was talking about was all the caddies come back to play. Not all of them have to, but they choose to because they enjoy the interaction. And I got, I don't know what I did wrong, but I got Nick, who golfed in high school, Jordan, who golfed at Lake Central, and Jimmy, I think, also golfed at Lake Central against me and another gentleman. And we got our butts kicked, but
a lot of these caddies aren't golfers, yeah. So, yeah.
Well, these were, and this was their star-packed power group.
You got the best of the best on that one.
I mean, I was home. Honestly, I was home. I was cleaning up, and I was about to sit on the couch to watch the final round of that golf tournament, and my alarm went off, and I'm like, oh man! And I took off and went, but it was fun to see them.
Yeah.
They're all gainfully employed, all three of the people that we played with, which is cool, which is what it's supposed to be. You go to college, get your degree. You don't have to go to college. You can go to trade school, but for this scholarship, you have to go to certain colleges.
So,
anyways, it was cool.
But
nice day.
We had some rain lately, and actually, and we've discussed this in the last few meetings. We actually, I won't say we pray for rain, but we needed the rain to move things through the system because everything was stagnating, and hopefully with the rains that we've had in the last few weeks, we've gotten rid of some of these. Sometimes you have to put water down the drain just to make sure things are moving properly. How's that? That's the best analogy.
Just use your own body. Sometimes you got to get things moving, and that's what needs to get moved. Yeah. And there was spots where there was blockages. And thankfully this rain came. With that rain, though, I'll tell you what, we were all complaining about our grasses turning brown and everything. But I mean, we hadn't mowed the levee in some time, and then all of a sudden, you had all that rain, and then you had the nice temperatures, and our grass is shot up, and so we're going to go out there. I think within a week. I think it's a week's time where we'll end up cutting that. I guess, and we didn't do any pre-show this time. We had some confusion whether I was coming or not. Sowerman Woods, as you're familiar with, it's like a 3-year long project located just south of 231. They're going to have their the official ribbon cutting or grand opening later this month. So stay tuned if you live out in that neighborhood or community.
I remember it was just started with a sketch, and they came to us and asked us, "Would you guys help us participate in some of the water part of this deal?" And we were happy to make that happen. Hopefully, if people don't understand, Sowerman Woods is down in Crown Point. It's by 231, and when we have huge rain events, and I've seen it a couple of times because my dad lived down that way. 231 was impassable because the water was just rushing over 231. So hopefully this project helped solve that issue, and that's one of the things that we do, folks, is it's not just the river, it's the whole watershed. And our partners, which is the municipalities, they'll come to us and ask us for some assistance, and we look at each project individually to make sure it fits into the purview of what we're trying to do. And I think the best way to say it is, they'll ask for a grant, and we'll honor the grant, usually what they ask for, or some fashion of that money, and try to help them out. And in the end, as we said before Dan showed up, there's a lot of people moving in the region, and we're focused on this big 20,000-foot view of what's happening with the water and where's it going to go, because parking lots and roofs and solid surfaces don't help us too much to get the water from point A to point B, because what's happening now is it starts collecting again.
And we have a great relationship with probably 95% of the communities. And, whether it's new housing developments where you saw the Lures Farm now is going, that's 1,500 homes, I believe.
1,500 roofs.
Yeah, you talked about
1,500 driveways, 1,500
anything.
Roads that go to the 1,500 houses. So basically we're taking areas that were water that would rain down and just go into the ground, and now it's going to have to go somewhere. So we've always been focused on that.
Sowerman Woods, anyways, was $2.6 million from us. I think they leveraged our money against some grants. Of course, we do flood control and some trail recreation components. But I will tell you, over the times that I've been out there, probably 2-3 years now, the transformation of what it was to what it is currently. I mean, they've got a full-fledged park going on out there, and the pond is just one component of it. And it's like, well, it's 2.6 to dig a hole. Well, that's what it costs nowadays, plus all the infrastructure involved with it. So that's a good project that has come to completion. And I know there's some other projects Crown Point is eyeing that are similar to that, where our large detention areas, and every subdivision has their own small little ones, but from a regional perspective or from a sub-watershed perspective, those are important.
We're looking at ways where the water can be held in a certain point before it's sent to us. And we've been thinking about this since the flood of 2008, because if it gets to us in a slower fashion, we can release it out to Lake Michigan or going west towards Illinois a little bit faster. And that's the whole idea, is to make sure that, as our leader would say, we don't want the events of 2008 ever to happen again. Can I say definitively that would never happen again? No. I mean, look at the floods in Texas and the floods in last year in North Carolina. When you have that amount of water come down in that short amount of time, there's no river tributary that can handle a deluge like that. But our job is to make sure everything is flowing well, that the system is open, and that we can do everything we can do to mitigate the events of 2008. And we're coming up, almost on 20 years here in a few years. Unbelievable, folks.
Yeah.
I've been on the commission since 2009, and I think Bill Baker was on the commission in 2008 after the flood. And we never really had any money until the $45 fee. And the reason the $45 fee has been implemented, folks, is to make sure that the water gets from where you're at to the river in a orderly fashion, so we don't have the events of 2008. In addition to that, Dan and the team, I'll call the team the partners, have done yeoman's work to make sure that everything's up and running, the pump stations are working, we're doing constant inspections on the system, making sure there's no blockages, or our favorite discussion about the beavers and the big beaver dams. And
there's still several of those.
There's lots of that activity out there, and we make sure that we see what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, we're currently going through each community. You know, you talk about our communication with them. We're going through with each community and trying to identify areas that they see are a concern and a problem. And as you said, orderly. And sometimes we want to speed up water in certain areas. For instance, we want to speed it up through Hobart Lake Station, east side of Gary, even Maryville to a point. But when it gets back to Crown Point, St. John, and Cherville, maybe we need to hold it up because, quite honestly, as I've said many times, the river, the Little Cal, is dependent on Deep River. So if Deep River clears itself out faster and goes quicker without flooding anybody, we can get the Little Cal down. I had a long discussion last Friday with someone that's been around this area for a long time, and I tried to explain to him the different hours dynamics. For instance, it takes 24 hours for the water from Wicker Park, we'll just use as a geographical area, Hart Ditch, to get to Gary if it flows to the east. So that's 24 hours. It takes about 9 hours from US 30. So we got a phone call.
We got someone.
Someone wants to talk to me, or you maybe. Is it you, Jimmy?
Go ahead,
Good morning, guys. Good morning, guys. Dave from Gary.
Good morning, sir.
Hey, I see they're making some really good progress on Chase there, right off of Ridge Road / Route 6 in north there. That intersection was blocked. You couldn't go north or south on Chase. But I see they're moving a little farther down where the natural spring is, the water outlet there for the natural spring. So they're making some progress there. If you can kind of elaborate on how that is going to affect and help drainage, or if it is sanitary. I'm not sure what that is. But and how many other municipalities or counties or districts have what we have, that $45 fee, which I don't mind paying, and I know a lot of people groan about that.
First of all, you have to be in the watershed to be assessed the fee. So the watershed is basically, you lay this map over the Little Cal and in either direction, north and south, and some people are in the watershed and some people aren't. Everybody's in different watersheds. You could be in the Kankakee River Basin Commission, which they have a fee now, correct?
Yeah, I mean, so I'll go backwards, Dave. As far as the fee, it's interesting, but the state of Indiana sort of has taken what was designed for the Little Cal, which was a surprise to most legislators. There was no operation and maintenance budget or playbook, if you will, to keep the $270 million project up and going. But what they did was, that was in 2012 when they put ours in. I think it was 2017. They took our model and applied it to Kankakee. Now, Kankakee watershed is much larger, goes all the way up to South Bend. And what they did, in a not 100% quote on this one, but each county can decide whether they want to pay it, they want to charge it, then remit a check back to the association, or some variation. So it's not necessarily a per parcel, it's a per county. So each county has to come up with whatever it is, $5 million, and so it comes through. Now, as far as that project that you're talking about, the sewer project, that's a county project that they use that ARA money for to get the folks in what I'll call South Gary. It could be not Black Oak, but Glen Park, off of septic. So that helps two ways. One, that septic would eventually go into Katy Marsh, which would eventually make it to us. By separating it and making it a sewer, you're going to have less water volume, and the water that we are going to be getting should be cleaner. So that will go to the 27th and Chase pump station, which runs parallel with Chase Street between our levee and Chase. So
Right.
it causes a little bit of havoc. I have to call the county a couple times to explain to them they can't be that close to the levee, but the contractor out there has been wonderful. There's a lot of good activity, which helps us out as well.
And I'm anxious to see the project completed because that was always a nice cut through for me. driving a big truck, it was was like to be able to get off Grant Street and come around. So,
but I'll tell you this: what I didn't like was that truck driving school that's by the Village shopping centers. They'd send those folks down there too, and I'm like, man, if I got stuck behind one of them. I mean, I know everyone's got to learn someplace, but it's a slow go.
What's funny is you build on what Dave said.
I don't mind paying the 45 because I'm all over the city of Gary and all over the county, and I see what you've done over the years. You know, be it over by Briar Ridge, the Main Street. I mean, just Kennedy Avenue. I mean, all the projects, and just having your team and Billy Baker there. You guys just run this thing so efficiently. And I believe that, I mean, we could say it's a very easy assumption that the state of Indiana looked at your model because how efficient you do run it. So, just keep up the good work. I'll keep calling in. But let me tell you, all the bridges I drive over every day, they're all clear. So keep up the good work.
Well, the $45 fee, I can attest to this, folks, and Dan could probably reiterate this, is every dollar of that $45 goes exactly towards projects, not to general administrative costs. Zero to that. We are a self-sufficient organization when it comes to the G&A stuff. And what's interesting is you bought a $275 million car, but you had no funding mechanism to maintain the car, to change the wheels, to change the oil, or anything. It was absurd. But
well, I mean, to do what you do there. What do you have? Three paid employees, right?
2 paid employees.
2 paid employees.
But the goodness, we look at it more of we've got partners along the river, and our partners are our eyes and ears out there.
Well, we're talking to one of our partners. He drives over Burr Street, tells me when the railroad bridge is clogged.
And I do the same thing. If I'm driving down Burr Street, if I'm driving down Clark Street, if I'm going to our favorite little new casino over there, and I see something, I'll pick up the phone or text Dan and say, hey, you might have checked out the railroad bridge over here, or check out this. I saw something that didn't look kind of right.
Yeah, I called Dan, text Dan on a regular basis about the rail bridge that's just west of Burr Street.
Don't worry, Tom does too.
What?
I do too, Dave. So you're not the only one.
Yeah, you haven't heard from me for a while because it's clean. So keep up the good work, guys.
That
I appreciate
goes
it.
back to what we said. We needed some rain to start moving things along, and we got it. Thank goodness. So we also need to make sure what we're doing is operational as well. So the rain helps us.
Hey, thanks for taking. I appreciate you taking my call.
Thanks, Dave, and appreciate your good, kind words.
So yeah, it's funny because we do. It's like a civilian. I don't want to say it's an army, but everyone calls. They know what to do. They give us a ring. We'll go out there, and sometimes it's legit. Most times it is, and then sometimes it's like, no, we're aware of it, or we have contracts, or in one case we're still waiting for locates on a pipeline. We know there's a 24-inch gas pipeline that we don't want to hit. We're still waiting for locates to happen, and I will tell you, it's amazing. Usually 811, not to bang on them, but they're usually a couple days, and you're in out. Clearly, there's a lot of activity going on because they're a little bit delayed now. So we're trying to make sure we don't hit that 24-inch gas line. That would be that'd be a bad day for a lot of people. So, but anyways, we're out there. We're working with the towns. We're working with the surveyor's office. We're at Dyer Ditch.
And anybody can
currently
pick up the phone and call Dan 219-59.
595-0599.
0599. Or, if you go on our website, littlecalumetriverbasin.org, you can just click on our names, and you'll go right to the email, and you can send Dan or Jody or myself an email, Bill Baker. And we see that stuff.
Since Baker's getting all this kudos, then we maybe he should answer some of these emails. But
what a great idea!
Yeah, well, big announcement. Not a big announcement.
He's too busy golfing.
Opposite end of the universe. Although something that we have dealt with was hunting in Gary. In the past, we allowed hunting. In the last 2 years, we've not allowed it. Recently, the city of Gary passed an ordinance that makes the illegal discharge or discharging a firearm inside city limits illegal. So that basically puts the kibosh on hunting. So anybody hunting, we believe it or not, it's crazy how many phone calls we get. But there is no hunting allowed anymore.
Here's the problem, people. We're not anti-hunt.
No.
We are not anti-hunt. But with the recreational aspect of what we have out there, there's people riding bikes. There's people pushing strollers. There's people bird watching. There's individuals walking or running. It's just not a safe way to be doing. If we got hunters out there and there are bullets flying and someone catches a stray bullet or a bow and arrow, it's just not the place to be doing.
Yeah, we were cool with the hunting, but it's now picked up steam to the point where these trails are being utilized.
They are
rather frequently, and having that out there is not conducive.
It's not conducive what we're trying to accomplish.
So just want to make the announcement. So if you're a hunter and you're looking or you're going to call.
Yeah, we're not anti-hunt.
You just got to find a different place right now.
Yeah, there's a place for that. There's lots of places throughout Indiana where you can go and do your thing with the bows and arrows and your guns and everything.
This was convenient for many. Another item that we're going through right now is, as you know, the Army Corps didn't have money this year's budget to do inspections of our levees, and so inspections are going on. We are it's sort of awkward, but we are inspecting ourselves. Although I've told all the engineering companies to, tell us what's wrong. It's better to us to know what's wrong now than it is at 3 in the morning.
We have independent people that are doing this, so it isn't like we've just hired ourselves to go look at stuff. So yeah.
No, but I want to let people. You need to let people know that there's going to be. We talk about recreation, but we also have to do inspections. So there's a couple days of the year where there's a sort of a conflict where bikers and runners they look at us that we try to put all of our lights on to flash, but
your orange vest.
Yeah, we got everything. I don't have them on today, but it's always becomes complicated sometimes with that relationship. I know people are wondering about Kennedy Avenue, and there's two components, and I know we're sort of running against the clock, believe it or not. But Kennedy Avenue Bridge is in the final design phase, and one day soon, they believe, they being the Army Corps, believes that we will have a playbook on how to get rid of the sediment here very soon out of Kennedy Avenue, which has been going on for almost 3 years now.
3 years to obtain a permit
to remove
and people wonder,
dirt.
People wonder, I'm from the government. I'm here to help. I mean, it's sediment that has come off of Hart's Ditch, and it's
deposited.
Basically deposited itself just north of Wicker Park and right in the river just by Kennedy Avenue. It needs to be removed out of the river. We've been trying to get this done for years and years and years, and they keep dancing around it, and we know it needs to be done. It just
trust me, it's not us delaying it.
It's appalling what goes on sometimes, and you're wondering what Then you ask yourself,
every Friday or
Craziness.
Most Fridays, I have a morning meeting with them, and sometimes I have to shake my head
and
take a
people
long
wonder
walk.
why we get frustrated, because the majority of the individuals that sit on the board are from the private sector. We're engineers, we're constructors, we're management people, and we get things done. And it's very frustrating for us. And I've been through the permit process when I was a home builder for a while, but it went very quickly. It didn't take 3 years to get a permit to build a house. It didn't take 3 years to go through zoning boards. This is just
the toughest part of
obscene.
my job probably is explaining government regulation, if you haven't had experience with it, to people that are in the private sector that haven't dealt with that. And it's hard to explain because it is difficult to explain. It's not a lot of common sense. It's a lot of checking boxes that may not make sense. So,
yeah. Well, we're already at the end of our fun times, and our next show will be the first Tuesday in September.
Give us a call otherwise.
We're coming up on our anniversary of the flood of 2008, which we always recognize that event and make sure that everybody's safe out there and that doesn't happen again. So rainy season's coming, and we wish everyone a good, happy close out of the summer, and we look forward to seeing you at our next meeting, which is always the third Wednesday of the month at our offices, and you can go on the website, littlecalriverbasin.commission.org, to find all the information you need. Thank you.